Welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show. What are the secrets to being wealthy, healthy, and wise? For the next hour, Jeff goes beyond the headlines to discuss what's trending with today's movers, shakers, and newsmakers. And now, here's Jeff Crilley.
Good Saturday morning, DFW. We've got a great show. It's a little rainy outside, but I expect that the sun will be coming up shortly. And our first segment is really about giving back to the veterans who served our country. And my first guest is Matthew Howe. He's the Director of Recruiting at Huffines Auto Dealerships. Welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show.
Good morning, Jeff. Thanks for having me on.
I saw a video that Ray Huffines put up that said, every day is Veterans Day at Huffines. Why is Huffines so passionate about this?
You know, I think it comes originally from his father, JL, who served in World War II in Korea. But just the idea of giving back to the community, and especially to a demographic of people who have given so much and are willing to sacrifice so much for us. It's really the very least we can do.
You were giving me a statistic right before we went on that blew me away. How many employees at Huffines and how many are veterans?
So we have just about 800 employees, and I would comfortably say about 70 employees. 70 of those employees are veterans.
That's amazing. Like 1 out of 10.
Yes.
That's so powerful. I am thankful that the unemployment rate among veterans is back to, I would say, normal levels of society. You said about 4%? About
4%, especially in this area, a very veteran-friendly area.
I think that's awesome. So what are some of the initiatives that you're involved in, and how can other companies do what Huffines is doing?
Absolutely. So one of the biggest initiatives that we're working on right now is a partnership with the United States Army called the PAYS program. And what that does, it actually gives future soldiers who are enlisting the opportunity to interview with up to 3 organizations upon termination of their contract. So Huffines is going to be one of those organizations. On July 25th, we're going to have a signing ceremony at the Plano location, and we're going to be a PAYS partner. And what this will do is allow these future soldiers the opportunity again to interview with us. It'll be a guaranteed interview for future soldiers who have successfully completed their contract to be either technicians, service members, sales representatives, support staff, whatever the case may be, whatever their interest is. We'll be more than happy to interview them. Now, that's not to say that we wouldn't be happy to interview any service member outside of this program as well.
And Huffines has actually set up a special website just for this. HuffinesJobs.com is the website where they can find a lot more information.
Correct. We're going to have a specific job posted for this program for service members who can just directly go into our website. We're going to make it quick and easy for them. We know how frustrating the job hunt can be, and we're trying to cut as many corners as possible with still staying in the legal limits, of course.
Let's talk about some of the qualities that veterans have and what makes them such great employees.
Absolutely. So, from day one in any of the branches, they're taught loyalty, they're taught duty, selfless service, respect for others, integrity, personal courage. These are all things that I think any organization would be more than thrilled to have in any of their employees. So, like I said, from day one all the way through their contract, these are things the values that they hold near and dear to their hearts.
And you served in the Army.
I did. I was with the 82nd Airborne, deployed to Iraq in 2003 with the initial invasion. Had a nice little vacation, as I like to call it, on the Army's dime.
Well, thank you for your service.
No problem. Thank you.
So when you came back, did you face any kind of problems finding a job? Did you? I've heard of veterans that face discrimination. They say that I was not hired because I was a veteran.
Yeah, that's always a tough one to kind of field with discrimination, because there has to be various cited causes and documentation on that. Really, the uphill battle was being able to transition my skills into a civilian sector job. And we're still seeing a lot of struggles with that. I've been working a lot with Texas Veterans Commission, Department of Labor, to help bridge those gaps. But things such as medics. I know a special forces medic who spent 20 years in the military, and I mean, this guy could probably do surgery in the middle of the night with no lights on. He can't get even a nursing job because those skills don't transfer automatically to an RN field. He doesn't have the licensing. He doesn't have the certifications. So that's a great resource right there that someone who has experience for 20 years can't even make that transition without going back and starting at an entry-level position. And I have to believe that everything you've seen and everything other veterans have seen really steels them for the stress of a day-to-day job. You have to, I mean, I can only imagine what you've gone through, and now to be in charge of recruiting. This is a walk in the park, isn't it? Absolutely. So it's really funny because, when I first came out, I took a job with a financial organization. And the first day they came out and gave me a stack of checks and said, "Okay, you need to process these checks. It'll probably take you all day, and good luck. Here's how you process it." By 11 o'clock, I said to my boss, "I'm going to go to lunch." And she said, "How are those checks coming along?" And I said, "They've been done for a half hour." So it was just, we're very task oriented. We're very proactive. We want to get the job done. And again, these are all qualities that I think any employer would just rush to really grasp a hold of. I think that's awesome. Matthew Howe is my guest. He's the Director of Recruiting at Huffines Auto Dealerships. Huffines.net is the company website. HuffinesJobs.com is the website about this special initiative. You've been with Huffines now for about a year and a half. Tell me a story of a veteran that you helped hire and how he or she's doing. Absolutely. So one that really comes to mind was a retired sergeant major. He had been in for somewhere probably around 26 years or so, longer than some of our other employees have been around, period. And he got out, and he was just looking for something to kind of keep him busy. He had retired. There was a little bit of a struggle getting him interested in selling cars. But once we showed him, that we do have a process, that we do have things that we processes that we follow, it's very structured like the military, he kind of really took hold of it. In the first month, he was our number one sales rep. Wow. Really? Yep. It does seem that there's a discipline that you learn in the military, this, being on time even. I mean, when you were in the military, 1 o'clock is 1 o'clock. It's a huge thing that people take for granted. I mean, so many times we have to discipline some of our employees about timeliness and being punctual. Never have that problem with a veteran. Again, we're taught from day one, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, don't bother showing up. Wow. And for other companies, if they're listening to this right now or watching on YouTube later, and they want to get involved, they want to do what Ray Huffines and Huffines is doing, what's the first step? The first step is really finding veterans in your own organization and figuring out what obstacles they had during the hiring process. There's no better place than kind of going straight to the horse's mouth, so to speak, and figure out, hey, what do we need to do better in order to make this easier for veterans to come on board. The other thing is do your research. All the organizations have some form of transition program, whether it be the Transition Assistance Program called TAPS, ACAP, Army Career Alumni Program, or the PAYS program, and start getting involved. Grassroots is really where it's at. That's awesome. And tell me again what happens on the 25th. So the 25th, we are having a public signing ceremony with the executive officer of the Dallas Recruiting Battalion. This is an opportunity for Mr. Huffines and the Dallas Recruiting Battalion to sign off on the partnership and say we're officially going to make sure that we have a commitment to our veterans, to our service members and their families even, to make sure that they get hired and at least, again, are guaranteed an interview. That's awesome. And I know it doesn't end there for Huffines, because I know for sure that Patriot Paws, isn't that an organization that you guys have supported in the past? That's correct. Yeah, we're very passionate about giving back to the community. It's one of our pillars of what we've been founded on is giving back to the community, and Patriot Paws up in out of our Denton store has really been a great partner with that. Explain what that is. So that's an opportunity for service members with special assistance dogs, special assistance canines, to make that connection between the service member and service dogs. So we donate to that on a regular basis.
That's outstanding. I like to think about JFK and his quote about "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what can you do for your country." I think one of the first things that an employer can do for his country or her country is hire a vet. Don't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Veterans are the reason we have the lifestyle we have today, and we continue to enjoy it. So the least we can do is, once they've served honorably, to help them and their family secure employment.
Thank you so much for being a guest. Matthew Howe with Huffines Car Dealerships, where every day is Veterans Day.
Every day is Veterans Day. Thank you, Jeff, for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Coming up next, we'll get the 411 on Texas 811. That's just ahead on the Jeff Crilley Show.
More of the Jeff Crilley Show coming up.